Hi everyone, I'm Colton Young on the Northern Ag Network with today's Northern Ag TV, brought to you by our friends at BNSF Railway.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.
Last week, the Montana Angus Association hosted the 52nd annual Montana Angus Tour, where over 500 attendees from 28 states and 5 countries traveled southwest Montana, visiting some of the premier Angus programs in the state. In attendance this year was the Director of Supply Management and Analysis for the Certified Angus Beef, Paul Dykstra, and for Paul, the Montana Angus Tour is always a highlight of the year.
This tour is a great one, and I've had the good fortune of being on close to 20 of these Montana Angus tours in my time. So I'd say it definitely is a special event, and I know there are several tours here in the U.S., but this Montana tour tends to be the biggest one on an annual basis. And as you mentioned, so many people represented here this year from several states and international as well. So the number one thing that it provides for is an opportunity to interact with Angus breeders and Angus enthusiasts across lots of regions.
Now, of course, this past year is one that we've never seen before in the cattle industry, and Paul Dykstra shared that optimism is high all across the board.
This is a lifetime event for most people here, and we've obviously never seen prices of this magnitude that we've recently been able to record. And the profitability and the net return that has come with it is pretty historic today. So for me, it's gratifying to see, as I look back over the years, obviously it hasn't always been this good in cattle. And in recent times we have had challenges even breaking even in a cow-calf operation, for instance. And obviously those margin operators in the feed yard and packing sector that have their ups and downs as well. But it's gratifying to see that we've been able to meet consumer demand genetically and through management with cattle that really offer the customer an eating experience that's really beyond compare today.
When we talk about the current state of the cattle market, there are several factors playing a major role in today's industry. One, of course, being the tight supplies. Another is meeting consumer demand by raising high-quality beef. Paul Dykstra shared that there are some other key factors that he believes are truly driving today's market.
Well, there are a few factors that have joined together to allow us to reach the pinnacle of quality that we're producing today. Obviously, the first one that I always point out is the genetic progress that we've made, particularly in the last 20 years, as we've seen just an evolution, a revolution, if you will, in the nation's carcass quality. And obviously the Angus breed for us is particularly impactful to that. But then you add on the fact that we've got extremely tight supplies of fed cattle. We've got very cheap corn. Those are advantageous to causing feed yards to be driven to add more days on feed in the feed yard. And of course, packers looking for more pounds on the hook to just create the tonnage that they need in a time where head counts are exceptionally restricted. That's allowed everybody to be a little more forgiving on these heavy carcass weights.
We'd like to thank Paul Dykstra from Certified Angus Beef for attending this year's Montana Angus Tour, along with everyone else who traveled along on our journey. For the Northern Ag Network, I'm Colton Young.